If money doesn't buy happiness, you're probably not spending it right. When Mars gets colonized, it'll eventually have its own accent. Milk is a flavor of chocolate, and chocolate is a flavor of milk. The first person to make popcorn must have seriously been freaking out. We say hair when referring to a lot of it, but we say hairs when referring to a few. Witches have black cats because if they had white cats, they would have white hair all over their clothes. Why am I uncomfortable in bed at night, but comfy in the morning? Life begins as a whole bunch of firsts, then slowly, without our knowledge, becomes a whole bunch of lasts. The fancier the kitchen, the more impossible it is to find the trash bin. I will never know what English sounds like to someone who doesn't understand it. Spending 2 seconds to pick up a quarter off the floor is the same pay rate as $450 an hour. Commas are just speed bumps for reading. There are balls that have been stuck in gym ceilings longer than some of us have been alive. A speed limit is the maximum limit allowed, but everyone treats it like a minimum limit. Everybody is trying to find the right person, but no one is trying to be the right person. Doing nothing is impossible. What if people who stare at you are just time travelers who came back in time to see you because in the future you're important? It's kind of gross how much we use couches and don't have the ability to easily wash them. Your seating plans in school can literally change your whole life. We should have an annual holiday where we turn off all the lights and look at the night sky. You can't hate lazy people because they didn't do anything. Wearing a sweater on a hot day also makes you a sweater. My Wi-Fi was out is the new I was stuck in traffic. The older you get, the more you realize 100 years isn't that long. A clear toothpaste tube would make so much sense. All that time school spent teaching us cursive, they could have spent teaching us sign language. A goldfish's job is to introduce kids to death. Everybody thought that having a calculator on you at all times would be life-changing, but the real game changer is having a flashlight. One period stops a sentence, but having 3 extends it. Because of coin flips, George Washington still makes decisions to this day. Most people drink more before age 21 than after age 21. There's literally no reason for microwaves to beep when you press the buttons. It will be a lot harder for kids to win against their parents in video games in the future. There are kids being born who will grow up thinking that the Amazon rainforest is owned by the company. You could probably rent a Lamborghini for less than an ambulance ride. There's probably a place in the universe where a constellation of the stars looks like a portrait of you. Imagine if someone handed you a box full of all the items you have lost throughout your life. When you're in an igloo, you're technically breathing underwater. If you were born 1 year earlier or 1 year later, you would have completely different friends, and as a result, would be a completely different person. Lighting a candle you bought is watching your money burn. You're eventually going to stub your toe on a very hard surface again, and it's going to hurt a lot. It will happen someday, and all you can do is wait. Mentos should print little positive messages on their mints and call them complimentos. Take a picture, it will last longer was probably a much more snarky remark back when everyone didn't have a camera in their pockets. The world wasn't better when you were a kid, you just didn't realize all the bad around you. What if we can breathe in space, but the government doesn't want us to escape? Everyone you know sees you as a side character in their own life story. Some people ask for your advice and ignore it because they want an audience more than guidance. A Crunch chocolate bar is basically just beans and rice. A fear of heights in outer space would become a fear of getting too close to a planet. The person you will lie to most in your life is yourself. The fact that so many people put so much effort on the internet to making random people all over the world laugh and feel better is a great achievement of the human race. A wireless charger restricts your phone much more than a wired one does. If you think about it, maybe and maybe not mean the same thing. Water is really what a rainbow tastes like. Almost everyone who puts up a Christmas tree has it up twice a year. I wonder how many places I've already visited for the last time. Everyone has a moment where they realize islands do not float on the ocean. Where does the wind start? The opposite of a podcast is a silent film. People used to deliver pizzas without a GPS. We build every house with a sturdy front door and a heavy lock for security, and then we put glass in all the walls. Someone will experience the pain of stepping on a Lego for the first time today. Ocean-scented products do not smell like the ocean. Walking a mile in somebody's shoes doesn't seem so impressive when you consider it'll only take 20 minutes tops. You don't close your eyes, you close your eyelid skin around them. We feel hunger with our stomachs, but thirst with our mouths. One day you will be a memory for a lot of people. Do your best to be a good one. With how many streaming services there are, it won't be long before someone bundles them all together and we end up with cable TV again. If I weigh 99 pounds and I eat a pound of nachos, does that make me 1% nacho? Our hands get dirty again after washing them when we touch the knob to turn the faucet off. As a kid, you're bullied by people who don't like you and your friends are nice. Once you're older, you're bullied by your friends and people who don't like you are nice to you. 0%, 99%, and 100% are the most worrying numbers to see a progress bar pause a long time on.